This feels weird. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do an old school video. I asked on Instagram if you guys wanted me to start bringing back favorites videos, and it was like overwhelmingly yes. And I was really surprised by that because I thought like favorites videos were like so last year, but I was like, okay, I could do them. I don't know if I'm going to be doing them every month or every other month, or kind of just like when I have like an accumulation of products and things I want to share with you that I've been loving, but I thought that I would start off today. I want to keep this video pretty short so that it doesn't take up too much of your time. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so I'm going to jump right in with makeup favorites, and I actually feel like I'm back in 2015 when I was filming a makeup favorites video. This feels really weird. But so I don't normally change up my routine too much. A few months ago when Zoella released her ColourPop collaboration, I bought the entire collection because I just thought it looked so nice. So I have been loving that entire collection, but in particular I've been loving the eye palette and the blush. I'm not a huge fan of the highlighter. I'm using what's it called, Champagne Pop on my cheeks right now. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's just not like poppin' enough. So this is the palette. The colors are absolutely stunning. I haven't used the blue, but I've used like every other color, and I'm wearing it on my eyes right now, on the top of my lids and underneath, and I am obsessed. The blush, I wasn't sure if it was going to suit me, but I actually love the kind of like natural looking pink. I don't tend to buy natural color pink blushes, but I absolutely love this one, and the pigmentation is really great. The staying power is really great. Overall, I just really love this collection. Some honorable shout outs as well. I love the liquid eyeshadows too. I think those are super pretty, but I will say as they dry, they do get a little bit flaky, which I'm not super impressed with, but I still love the collection. For my skin, I have started using a new kind of setup, and I don't know if I'm ever going to change. As long as my skin stays the same, I don't think I'm ever going to change. But I finally bit the bullet and bought the IT Cosmetics CC Cream and the Bye Bye Under Eye, and you guys, I get the hype. I get it. So back when CC creams first became a thing, I tried them out, and I remember I absolutely hated them. I don't know if it was that I tried a bad brand, or they just like kind of hadn't gotten the formulation down yet or anything like that. I can't remember what brand I tried, but I know it was in Ireland when I tried it. And ever since then, I've kind of been like really hesitant to try a CC cream because I'm like, ugh, it just didn't work with my skin. But I will say I did have quite oily combination skin back then, whereas now, especially living in the desert, I feel like I have like pretty dry skin. So I don't know, maybe my skin changed, maybe the formulations changed, I don't know. But I am obsessed with the CC cream. I'm wearing it right now, as well as the under eye, the Bye Bye Under Eye, and I'm just, you guys, it is game changing. I only need one pump of this and I put it on with my beauty blender. I always get a finish that is absolutely flawless, especially with the Bye Bye Under Eye. It's not like, it's not cakey, it's super full coverage, especially like being a new mom, I need super full coverage under eye concealer, and it stays on all day. I'm so impressed with it. You can get it in Ulta, and what I love about Ulta is if you don't like anything, you can return it, which is why I took the plunge and actually tried these. But obviously I loved them, didn't return them, so that's obviously a risk. But if you're looking for a new skincare or new base setup for your makeup, definitely check out these two products. Majorly impressed. So moving on to TV and movies, I started watching Legacies, which is a spin-off of the originals, which is a spin-off of the Vampire Diaries. I started watching that this month and I really, really like it. I don't love it as much as I loved the Vampire Diaries or the originals, but it's good. Like, it's a good show. But why I mentioned it is because I was watching Legacies, and as I was watching it, I was like, I don't remember any of this stuff happening in the originals, because the originals is over now, and they kept mentioning things that like I didn't remember. I was like, did I see the last season of the originals? So it turns out I hadn't. So I actually started going back and I watched the last season of the originals, and I just love that show. I wish it never ended. So that is a favorite of mine recently, is the originals. I just love it. I love the characters. I love the storylines. I think Legacies is a little bit more like kind of tongue-in-cheek than the originals and the Vampire Diaries ever was. And it's a little bit more like young, I guess. I know they're like vampire shows and I'm almost 30. But yeah, I've been loving the originals lately. I'm actually thinking about going back and rewatching it from the beginning. I rewatched The Vampire Diaries pretty recently, so I don't think I'm gonna go back and watch that. But I've just been loving the originals and I don't think I've ever rewatched it. I think I've only watched it one time through, so I think it's time for a rewatch. Gary and I have 2 shows that we watch together every single week that are kind of our guilty pleasure shows. Like we watch Game of Thrones together, which I've also been loving, and we watch like Westworld when that comes back on, and we watch kind of like all the big shows together. But we also love Shark Tank and MasterChef Junior, and we've been watching Shark Tank. We probably actually started watching both of them around the same time last year, and I just love those shows. Shark Tank I find really, really interesting, like the businesses that people bring to Shark Tank and kind of like the pitches that they make and just like the valuations they make. I just find it really interesting. I don't know if it's like my entrepreneurial spirit inside me that's like kind of coming out when I watch that show, but I really, really love Shark Tank. And I love seeing like I love looking at Shark Tank, and I love seeing the social media following that all of these companies have and like kind of like correlating the two together, because you see like these really successful companies go into Shark Tank and they don't have a huge social media following, but they've made like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it kind of like makes me realize, like, it makes me like question, what are we doing on social media? Is it 100% necessary? I mean, I do think it's necessary, but it kind of just like gets my thoughts turning, you know, about my business and kind of like how I can approach it a little better without social media. Obviously, that's not the case with every single business that goes into the tank, but it's happened a few times now that it's got me thinking. As for MasterChef Junior, I mean, Gary and I love food, and I just think it is fascinating that these little kids can go into this kitchen with Gordon Ramsay and just whip up these amazing dishes and absolutely kill it. I mean, there are so many times though when like I'm almost crying when like a little kid gets eliminated and this little kid is just like crying. I'm like, how do they do it? But I just love that show so much. So those are 2 shows that we are absolutely loving. And last but not least, Gary and I started the Santa Clarita diet. We're only like midway through season 1, but we are absolutely loving it. It's always been one of those shows on Netflix that like I've been looking at, but I've never actually dove into. And to be honest, I never even watched a trailer for. I just heard like zombies or eating people, and I was like, probably not for me. But honestly, it is so funny, it's so good, and I love Drew Barrymore and what I call the B team of, what's his name, Josh Duhamel. I call him Josh Duhamel's B team. Gary doesn't like that. I don't know his real name. He's just Josh Duhamel B team to me. I guess I'll transition to movies right now. We saw Avengers, obviously, and that was a great movie for me. I will say, I'm not going to do like spoilers or anything, so don't worry about that. I will say I kind of regret going on preview night because it was so busy. And honestly, I feel like I would have enjoyed it a little bit more if the theater wasn't so packed. I feel like the crowd that we saw it with was just a little bit too enthusiastic about it for our liking. And yeah, I don't know about you, but like I'm not one of those people that like whoops and cheers when like things happen, or like I feel like a lot of people that we saw it with were just like hysterically laughing at points that weren't really that funny. Like, you know, those like little moments in Avengers where like they're trying to get you to laugh, but like it's worth like a but these people were like hysterically laughing, and like every time it happened I was just like, because I'm just like not that person. I think Gary and I both would have enjoyed it with a different audience. We might go see it again in the theater, but we will probably wait for it to come out to like rent or something like that. And Disney is releasing its own Netflix, which I'm super excited about. Finally, I've been waiting for this. So yeah, let me know what you thought of Avengers Endgame in the comments down below, but be warned, if you haven't seen it, there might be spoilers in there. But honestly, like if you're a true fan, like why haven't you seen it yet? What are you doing? Why are you watching this video? Go to the movies right now and go watch it. For other movies, I've been loving Netflix original movies. I watched Perfect Date this this month with Gary and we absolutely loved it. That Noah Centineo or something like that. He seems to be in like every single Netflix original movie these days, but I'm here for it because they're really cute movies and I find it so interesting. Like Gary's one of those people that will like zombie movies or like war movies that are like super bloody, but then on the other hand, if I watch a Netflix original movie that has Noah in it without him, he gets like really upset and he wants to watch it with me again. So I just love that about him. I think it's great. So yeah, we both really liked Perfect Date, and Netflix original movies are just like really awesome. So if you have any suggestions for ones that you've watched and you loved, leave me a comment and let me know down below because I love me some Netflix. Moving on to food, if you watched my vlog that I put up on Sunday, you will know that I have been loving making pizza dough, and it's one of those things that I've been trying to master for years, and I finally got it down and I am obsessed. I literally could make pizza dough every single day of the week and be totally happy with my life. I mean, you guys know me. I'm the pizza queen, but now that I know how to make it, it's like 10 times cheaper and I can have it whenever I want and I feel less guilty about it because it's not like super greasy and super expensive. So I'll leave a link to that video in a card up here and a link to the recipe in the description box down below. Definitely try it out. I will say I didn't use a pizza stone and I don't know if I ever will because I feel like pizza stones are my kryptonite. I can never get the pizza off the paddle into the oven, and I know a lot of people say cornmeal doesn't work, flour doesn't work. It always turns into like an unconstructed calzone because we have to like fold it and like lift it onto the stone. It just doesn't work. So pans for me. Let me know if you try it. It is so good. I made mine half mushroom, half pepperoni and black olive, and it was so good. I've also been loving smoothies this month. Now I'm trying to replace one meal a day with a smoothie, particularly a protein smoothie. I've been using the Tone It Up protein. I think it's okay. It's a little bit expensive for my liking, so I don't really know what protein to go on to next. I have some GNC protein in the cabinet, but I know I'm just not gonna like that in my smoothies. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. I've actually been loving vanilla protein, which I didn't think that I would. I've just been making smoothies with peanut butter and a banana and some ice and water, and then with my vanilla one I also add strawberries into it, so it's like kind of like more of a tropical smoothie. But I've really been liking them, and I like kind of replacing one meal with a smoothie because even though like it's pretty carb heavy, it's like a balanced meal because I put peanut butter and fruit in there. It still feels like I'm not eating as much. As for reading, one book stands out for me for the past while, and that is Miracle Morning. I had this book on Audible 3 years ago, and I started listening to it 3 years ago, but I don't know, maybe I just wasn't ready to listen to it because I got about halfway and I stopped. But this last month, I finished it and I am obsessed with the idea. I'm still trying to figure out how I can fit it into my life because we are co-sleeping with Franklin unintentionally right now. So I feel like it would be really hard for me to get up in the morning and do it. But yeah, if you have any tips, let me know in a comment down below. I'll leave a link to the book in the description box too, so you guys can go check it out. Essentially what it is you just get up like an hour, half an hour earlier, and you do like specific things. I actually have a notes page kit for it in my shop, so I can tell you exactly what you do. This is my notes page kit if you haven't seen it already, because I do want to try and attempt it this month. So you do silence, so like meditating, you do affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing, which is like journaling. So it's just kind of like a very intentional time in your day, and you do it in the morning so that it sets you up for the great rest of your day. And I just really loved the book. So if you want to get it, it's on Audible and it's also in physical book form. I listened to it on Audible and I really enjoyed it. For lifestyle favorites, I've really been loving this corner in my living room. We finally added a few things to kind of make it feel a little bit more homely. We're starting to slowly but surely finish off the living room downstairs. We added some curtains there. We added all of these pictures. We added this salt lamp, which I'll leave linked down below. and I've just been absolutely loving it. Sitting on the couch now and like seeing that little corner just makes me so happy. So I had to throw that in there. I will be doing a full living room tour once it's done. I'm not entirely sure when it will be done because there are a few things that we still want to do to it, but that will be coming up, I mean, hopefully within the next year, but you never know. Finishing off, I wanted to shout out some of my YouTube favorites from the last while. First of all, I have absolutely been loving making videos on YouTube, and I love that I've kind of taken the pressure off of it and it's a hobby again. Gary's been telling me for so long that I need a hobby, and YouTube started off as my hobby. I want to continue it as my hobby. I mean, I do make some money from YouTube and that is amazing, but I love that it's my hobby and it's something that I still love doing. So thank you all so much for watching my videos and for subscribing and commenting and liking. That helps so much, and it really motivates me to keep going. So if you do like my channel and you know somebody else who would like my channel too, be sure to send them a link to it. I have a pretty hefty goal of hitting 10,000 subscribers this year, and I think we're gonna do it, but it would be awesome if you could help me out. So let them know that my channel exists. I mean, there are so many YouTubers out there right now that I'm kind of sure to get lost in the oblivion, but yeah, I would really appreciate it. As for other channel favorites, I have been loving Sarah Marie for budgeting videos. Gary and I are kind of on a budgeting journey right now. We only started about 2 weeks ago, but it's going really well so far. I mean, it's only 2 weeks, but it's going well. We've stuck to our budget, and I've been loving Sarah Marie's videos. She is a planner girl, so she posts budget videos using her deluxe monthly planner, and I really enjoy them. Sticking with the planner girl theme, I've been loving Cindy from Llamas Love Lettering. I've been loving her April Plan As You Go month. She was posting videos every single day in April of how she uses her planner. She uses like a bunch of different planners in tandem together to like kind of make the perfect planning system for her, and I was loving those videos when they were on, and I'm really sad that they're over, but I hope she does it again. She also has a podcast that I've really been loving, and Cindy's just like one of those people that I never really knew her, I feel, until this year, until I like started listening to her podcast and like watching her videos and stuff, and she just seems like such a cool person and really down to earth, and I love watching her videos and listening to her podcast. My last YouTube favorite is Haley Page. I've been watching Haley for a few years. I can't even remember how I found her. I found her way before I got pregnant, but I know she has a lot of mommy videos. Maybe I was just like searching mommy videos or something. I used to do that even before I had Franklin. I've been watching her for a few years, but I love the shift her content is taking. So she's still posting like mommy vlogs and stuff like that, but she's also posting a lot of content aimed at people who do want to make money on YouTube and who want to make it their full-time job. And I really appreciate a YouTuber who I find successful, who I look at and I think she is a successful YouTuber. I really appreciate her taking the time to like teach people what she's learned. I feel like a lot of people use what they've learned to kind of like keep it like tucked in the corner where they don't really want to talk about it because they're afraid of competition, but there really is enough room for everybody on this platform, and I love that bigger YouTubers are realizing that. I mean, not every big YouTuber is realizing that, but some of them are, and I really appreciate it. So if you like family vlogs, if you want to make YouTube your full-time income, I will leave Haley's channel linked down below. She also has a Facebook group where people talk about like YouTube and stuff like that, so I'll also leave that linked down below in case you want to check it out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a comment down below and let me know so I know that I should keep making favorites videos. And like I said in a previous comment, if you know somebody who would like my channel, please share it with them and make sure they click that red subscribe button and give this video a like, because it really supports my channel when you like and comment. And just, I don't know what I'm doing with my hands, but I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.